22 low ET top speed, Bob Tasca.
The flames are high, the car is fast, 383.3.
You know, all winter long we heard about the fastest motorsports on the planet, and I was a little confused.
Would you look at this? He may demand to be paid in magnesium. Bob Tasca III goes 383.4.
We're joined by Bob Tasca. Bob, you've had some success at the Bellagio of drag strips. What's it like being back here in Charlotte?
Oh, this is the greatest place on the planet to have a drag race. You know, it's just a incredible vision by Bruton Smith to build something like this and then to do the 4-wide in Vegas. And then this year we're doing it twice here, 4-wide. So it's exciting. You know, I've won it a bunch of times in Vegas. I've been to the finals here a couple times. Won it in the 2-wide version. So we'd love to win this thing in the 4-wide version tomorrow. Great running car, made some big runs yesterday. Smoked the tires on that last run, but we got one more to go here today.
And this sport is a family affair. I mean, third generation racer for you. You bring your boys out to the track. How cool is it to be with your family? Even too, the team becomes family as well.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it started my grandfather back in the 60s with Ford and NHRA, and I wasn't even born back then, but I just remember the stories and what they did at the racetracks. And, you know, for me, a lot of my career, there wasn't a lot of family around. You know, my wife and raising kids, and I was on the road. So these past several years, you know, with the success we've had, to have all my boys out here a lot and my wife, it really has made it sweeter, that's for sure.
And I saw on your website, you kind of have a tradition going where you're taking photos with maybe a crew member after some of the wins you have. How did that tradition start?
Well, because I give them all the credit. You know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of motorsports out there, but 95% of this sport is the team and the crew chiefs. You know, I'm humble enough to say, yeah, the driver's got to do his job, leave on time and so forth. But if the team doesn't give you a great car, if the crew chiefs don't make the right decisions, you're not going to win. So when we do win, the first thing that goes through my mind is the starting line. Just the joy and the excitement that they have. So I make sure every time I'm in the winner's circle, we not only take a team photo, but any crew member that wants to, whether it's their family, their wives, their kids, or just me and them, hold that trophy and take the picture, because ultimately couldn't do it without them.
I've got to ask, you're licensed in 4 different types of racing here. What's your favorite vehicle to drive?
On the road or on the track?
On the track.
Well, there's nothing that compares to a nitro funny car. I've driven pretty much everything out here. It's the most challenging car to take down the drag strip. It's short wheelbase relative to the dragsters. Motor's in front of you, and anything can happen. It puts a cylinder out. If you blink your eye, it'll put you in the wall or swap lanes. It's just a real animal car to drive, and I wouldn't drive anything else.
I would say that the funny car, just coming into this, really has been one of my favorites because of the thrill of it. And I would say, too, to be in the sport, you got to be a bit of an adrenaline junkie, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, there's no question about it. I've never done drugs or anything like that, but I can tell you this is definitely addictive. That adrenaline and that speed is just, you can't describe it.
And coming from oval racing, I got to ask, some of the comparisons with Fox between IndyCar being the fastest motorsport in the world. You can't top 300 miles per hour more every single week when you guys are racing. What did you have to say to that?
I think they were a little confused. I had to unconfuse them. Again, I take nothing away from IndyCar drivers. I have nothing but respect for what they do. I couldn't hold a candle to them in their car. I'm sure they'd have a pretty hard time holding a candle to me in my car. But when you say you're the fastest motorsport on the planet, you're not insulting Bob Tasca. You're insulting all the drivers, all the fans, the sanctioning body, and it was on our own very network. But we've moved past that. I think we've all said our piece, and clearly nobody's going to dispute who's faster, IndyCar or drag racing. We know the answer to that.
Absolutely. And with that, too, I mean, social media buzz with that, but you've really taken to social media, particularly this year. Like, after every qualifying round, I see you're like, hey, spoiler alert, here's how we did. But how's it been to kind of embrace social media and really just be there for the fans online, too?
So here's the harsh reality about it. There's not enough TV exposure to justify the sponsorship, period. Like the viewerships, even with NHRA, were up dramatically year over year. There's still not enough eyeballs to give back. So what we've done with social media over the last couple of years is that we've just taken our fan engagement to the next level, and we can get 4, 5, 6 million impressions a month now. Well, that's more than I get on Fox, right? So when you take what you do on Fox, being around the country with all the fans, and then you give unique content, interesting content, and I give a lot of credit to my social media guy, Joey Little, and I work very close together on it. You give the fan something to look forward to on across all my social media, and we do it different. So if you're on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, you're seeing different things. And we do that to make the content unique for the platform, and it has been a game changer for me. We've already this year almost equaled our total impressions of last year, and we just see it going up and up.
That's impressive. As a social media gal myself, that's impressive to see. And you really have to form two specific platforms. Do you have a specific platform for social media that you enjoy more than others?
Yeah, probably Instagram. I'm probably more of an Instagram guy, although I do spend a lot of time on Facebook, and I am reading stuff on Twitter. So I'm an information junkie. So like I'll wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the first 45 minutes of my day, I'm reading. So whether it's on Twitter or it's on, maybe Instagram or some of the news channels, I like to be kind of well-informed, leaving in the morning of what's going on.
I want to go back to this weekend and even last weekend too, or last race you guys had with the 4-wide and Vegas. What can fans expect this weekend? What are the differences between how you would run at Vegas versus here? What are some of the challenges with this track?
Well, the first thing I hope they expect is that I back up on Sunday morning. We had a terrible transmission failure, which was absolutely devastating to me. Sunday morning, first round, do the burnout. We really felt confident we were going to advance to the next round, and car wouldn't go in reverse. We had a $5 gear that failed and took out the planetary set. So the first thing I hope that they can expect is that Sunday morning, after the burnout, I'm going to back up. And then once we do that, we come to the race for only one reason, and that's to win. I don't need to be here. I don't have to be here. I want to be here to win for our fans, our sponsors, and we've been very fortunate. We've won a bunch of races over my career over the last several years, and we got a car that can go out there and win it any weekend, and hopefully we can do it tomorrow.
I've got a few fun questions for you. So first up, what is the fastest car you've ever driven on the street?
Fastest car I've ever driven on the street probably has to be my Ford GT. Absolutely love it. It's a beast.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Something, if you've watched my Instagram, you're probably already laughing at me because they asked me what was the last concert I went to, and I think it took me 5 minutes to remember. I went to Aerosmith with Steven Tyler. I was so embarrassed about that. I'm not a music guy. Like, people say, Bob's got his earbuds in, his phone. Joey, what does he listen to? My social media guy, he goes, listen to. He's on the phone. So we have 35 dealerships across the country, and that is, I'm all consumed with that. So I probably couldn't sit here and tell you go-to. My wife would have one for you.
So maybe not a music guy, movie guy? Favorite movie genre?
Oh, I like the Tom Cruise movies. I'm a pilot. I'm an avid pilot. So those Top Gun movies, I could watch those a couple times. But that would be probably my first pick.
And last but not least, you're invited to a party. What are you bringing?
I'll bring sparkling water. See, I'm boring. I don't drink. Well, very little anyways. But no, I'm going to a party. Might bring a nice bottle of wine for someone to drink. But no, I'm probably, people would say, Bob, like, what do you do for fun? And this is what I do. Like, I live it every day from 5 o'clock in the morning until I can't keep my eyes open at night. I'm at the dealerships. I'm racing, and probably the only fun I have is I get to fly my airplanes to the racetracks and to our dealerships.